The whole thought that it's so difficult and I will never reach there is the resistance. The whole thought that because there's nothing to reach. Just relax in this moment and you're already there. You see how simple it is. Just let go of this thought because there's nowhere to reach. It's the question is how to be fulfilled in every moment. And when you're fulfilled in every moment and without resistance, you are cultivating self. And then the result is natural. You start healing and rejuvenating. That's it. Did I even need to speak about all that? Just stop resisting, let go. There's nothing to achieve. I've never even thought about it. The whole thought is the poison. Because there's nothing to hold on to, but just to relax. You see, it's completely out of the box. It's like quantum leap. There's nothing to hold on to. Wow, but how can it be? It's against my human notion of reality. Actually, just relax, pelvis, face, everything. Surrender in the present moment. And do that on and on and on in every situation. The whole thought of, am I going to get anywhere, is the poison that has to be released and surrendered. And then you're there every moment. It's not about achieving, it's about how do I jump into the flow? Because every time you jump out, how do I return to the flow? The point is not to achieve anything, but not to hold or to capture or grab anything, but to return to the stream of eternal being. That's all. I can return myself to the eternal being anytime. So I'm there. What have I achieved? Nothing. Just learned to let go and go back and restore my natural state. Have I achieved anything? Am I any better or worse or special? No. I just changed the quality of life from within by learning how to surrender and be. That's all I've achieved. And that kind of was followed with the manifestation of that ability to be in the flow, because that flow is the flow of abundance, of inexhaustible energy, of inexhaustible creative potential. That's how you start seeing the changes outwardly. I was never trying to achieve anything, neither in the material world nor in the spiritual way. Never. Didn't even have a thought. I don't have any goals. I surrendered all the goals into the flow and tapped into the elixir of life, which is the flow of life creation itself. That's all I've achieved. When people ask me to tell my journey, there is no journey. It's a quantum leap when you just notice something out of the box instead of pursuing ambitiously, trying egotistically, getting something or somewhere and grabbing life. Let go and be. That's what I've by accident discovered and realized that that's the point of yoga and awakening, which allows you to return to it at any point, no matter what you do, what you don't do. Does it make you special? No, just a natural being. That's all. Does it make you want to be anything? No, because what wants you to be something is the corrupt self, which always feels like it's nothing because it's outside of the flow. It feels disconnected from the flow, because once you're in the flow, you're just that abundance, that love, that creation. Whether on the smallest micro scale or macro scale, it's on the same thing. It's like once you plunge in, you're one. That's what it means to be one. One with creation, one with the flow. Because how can you be one if you're holding on to something? Surrender. And you are. And once you surrendered, cultivate that being, that state. First it feels like state, then it becomes your natural being, because you dissolve through this natural being all the corrupt patterns that make you think that you're something limited, something that needs to be in control, contract. And that's how you restore the sense of immortal life within the essence. you realize that life is not something that will be interrupted, because I am life beyond the body. I am bliss, I am peace, I'm content. It's always there. And if I cultivate myself through that being, I can also prolong life of this physical being. I can naturally achieve longevity without trying to achieve it. Even if you know there is some parasitic energy, there are some attacks, there are some negative people, there is this and that, you don't need to give it power by keeping it actively in your space of consciousness. Surrender them. And just, you have to live a healthy lifestyle, then live it. But just attend to your chores, to goals, step by step, every moment, whenever it's needed. Give it energy only to that degree. The rest of the time, remain in the flow. And you'll be forever happy, or whatever. If happiness is contentment and bliss and peace. Because that changes the quality of life and perception of quality of life from within. We always try to gain or change some quality of life in the external environment or outwardly. But instead, we have to work on returning back to the flow and be there, our authentic self, so that the quality of life, the perception of life changes from within. Once you changed it, whether it's a gray weather, whether it's rainy weather, whether it's negative people, it don't affect you. Whether you have little or much, it doesn't bother you. Because you're nurtured and fulfilled from within. Then you can create more of matter or less of matter. It's up to you. In the external reality. But internally, you're always grounded at peace and autonomous. Because you know, nobody and nothing can do anything to you unless you allow, unless you disempower yourself, unless you project yourself outward. So instead of projecting and holding on to these projections, attachments, ideas, surrender them all into the flow and be. That's the only way. That's the only way to understand what true letting go is. And when you do that, you're absolutely at peace, in natural being, equanimous, blissful. And your breath becomes more rhythmical naturally. You don't need to force breathing this way or that way. It just becomes natural. And through that natural absorption into the flow, you restore yourself on a physical level. You heal from within. Your cells start healing. Your DNA starts rebuilding in a good way, because the higher frequency changes the molecular, the atomic structure of the cells, because they are water. The frequency restructurizes it, pushes away parasitic energy, dissolves it, neutralizes it. So this is another way to heal, kind of a different level. You can heal using herbs and other things, but there's another level, the level of frequency. That's much more powerful. And that's much more rare. We can simulate certain frequencies with electronic gadgets and so on, but when we speak about spiritual type of frequencies, they can't be always simulated with the technology. That's why they're more valuable and rarer.